Chris. Just making sure that you could see the whole of the pictures before we start, rather than losing a bit off the side. Might help with the next hymn as well. Thank you for giving us the time to do this. Something that we probably wouldn't really want to be doing, but unfortunately we do have to do it. So we're going to be talking about the Spire on the church today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we need to do with the Spire, why we need to do it, and how we're going to do it. And obviously, you can feel it coming already, what it is that we need your help with. So fundamentally, what we need to do is repair our Spire. We knew that some things were going wrong with it because bits of wood started falling off the roof down the sides of the church. So last year, we got this enormous crane, big cherry picker, to get up close to it because you can't really see what the state of the spire is like unless you're really close up to it, to have a really good look at it. And then we've been again since with a drone, so flown a little drone up so that you could get a good view of the state of the spire to get up close. You get some great views of Sheffield from up there, incidentally. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to get up and have a great view out from our spire. It's very difficult to access, which is an important part. So what did we find when we got up there? Well, as soon as you get up close, you can see that it is in quite a sorry state. The white parts on that you can see are all wood. They're painted wood, and a lot of that wood is rotting. The reason that wood was falling off is because it's rotting. It's not been maintained. But then there are actually parts of it missing. The copper on the top part, so the green part of the spire that you can see quite vividly, gives it a very characteristic style, is also insecure and is risk of coming loose as well. And then on top of the spire, we've got this beautiful top on the top of it, but the support on it is cracked, and the copperwork underneath needs restoring. There is some good news. The good news is that inside of the spire, so the bit that's above our heads right now, we can get to much more easily inside the roof space. It's structurally sound, so we don't need to panic. It's not about to collapse down through the roof. It's not that kind of problem. But as some of you have been aware, if you were here earlier this year when it was raining heavily, it is already leaking. When it rains heavily, the water does come in through the spire. There's water damage you can see on the wood on the inside of the spire. And we've had specialist conservation architect look at this and consult us on the state of the spire. And his advice is basically, we need to get on and do this quickly because another winter will really take its toll on the spire. The damage that is done to the spire will get more and more. So as it's already deteriorated, more weather damage, more cold weather, wind, rain, will get progressively worse. So really a lot of pressure to get on and do something about it this year before it suffers another winter and becomes a real problem for us. So why do we need to do this? Well, the Church Council has looked at all options, really, considered everything that we could do, including the idea of removing the spire. We're a church, we come here to meet together and worship. Is that really an integral part of who we are as an organisation? And a challenging question, and we've looked at all the options. The fact is that our church is a listed building. It is quite notable and distinct, built in 1930. And our Grade 2 listing actually mentions the spire specifically as being distinctive. And it is quite unusual. And I'm sure after this service, you'll all go outside and have another look at it and think, oh, I've not actually noticed the spire. Maybe I'll look up and consider it. And it's not your typical church spire. Maybe because it's quite small. It's in the middle of the church. But then this combination of the wood and the copper is quite distinctive. And really, we don't have an option, actually, to do anything but then repair it, like for like, using traditional materials. This is part of the building's listing process. So it really is our only option. And if we don't do it, and it were to become unsafe, then ultimately this building would become unusable. Okay, it would get to that point if we didn't repair it at some point. and the key to do it now before it gets worse. So that's the reason for the use of the word emergency in this Spire appeal is not because it's about to collapse, it's because we need to repair it now before it gets any worse. So really the strong advice from our architect is to do it this year. And that is our plan. So the golden question. How much will it cost? Because obviously it costs money, and we wouldn't be having an appeal if we didn't need some money. Well, we've had multiple quotes. We've looked at this over quite some period of time, and we've had quotes from specialist conservationists. The one that we've chosen to go with, the best value one, the one that's really going to get the work done without costing us too much money, but also not having too much risk, is for £135,000. Now, it's a big sum of money, and this is because we need to get up there, so we need scaffolding that actually gets up onto the roof of the church. This is a big building to have to get scaffolding up both sides of. We need to remove the pieces. You need specialist people to work on this as a piece of conservation work as well. Remove the damaged things, the woodwork that needs doing, the metal work, and then ultimately making the thing look nice. Now, it's a lot of money, but there's some good news. The church has some money saved, some reserves for maintenance of its buildings, of making sure everything is being looked after, and the church council has set aside some of that. We can't use all of it; that would be problematic for us as well. But the church council has set aside £35,000 of our savings to go towards this repair. And then we've been applying for grants. So there are lots of funds available for heritage buildings, for exactly this sort of thing, looking after the heritage of the community. And an amazing group of people have been working on this over the last 4 months, tirelessly writing applications, finding bodies that might have funds available, and applying for them. And the great news is we've already had grants awarded for this has gone up since I wrote it, actually. We're now at, I think, £32,000 that's been awarded to us from 3 or 4 different funds, which is great news. And there's other applications that have been made. In total, I think about 10 different applications to different funds for chunks of money that'll help us to do this repair and preserve the church. So we're confident that we will get some more from those appeals. As a place of worship, we can also claim back the VAT on this. We really ought to be able to get that. That's a fairly standard thing that we can claim back the VAT. But it does leave a chunk of money at the end, £25,000 that this appeal is for. So we've decided that local fundraising, we need to try and raise £25,000 towards this ourselves. And indeed, many of the grants that we've been awarded are dependent on us doing this as well, that we're making an effort to fund it ourselves, and we're not just getting money from other people. So really the target of this appeal, and what we're talking to you about today, and we'll talk to the wider community, the whole parish about, is our aim of collecting £25,000. Now, another bit of great news is that we've already had an offer of match funding from within the community. So the first £10,000 of donations that we receive will be matched. So they're going to be doubled by a single donor, which is an incredible gift and a huge step on our way. We've also got the great gift of gift aid from the government. So these are charitable givings. And that £10,000 match funding will have another 2,500 gift aided on it. So the question, what can you do to help? Well, the main thing that we'd like is really for you to donate money, if you feel able to do so. We've discussed this a lot, and we really felt we could have dozens of bake sales and jumble sales and beetle drives and whatever we could think of, and really only raise quite a small amount of money that's not going to get us any near £25,000. And we didn't really want to use all of the energy and the time of the church and of our members and towards this. At the end of the day, it is our building. It's part of who we are as a church, but it's not where we want to be putting our energy. So really, the key thing we're asking is for donations. There is a website that's set up where you can donate online by card if you want to do that. We do, of course, accept checks and cash. The details are on the leaflet, which was on your chair. We would encourage people to add gift aid to those donations as well. If you're a UK taxpayer, so you need to sign the little form on that, which means with our match funding, if you were to give a gift now, it's actually worth to the campaign 250% of what you're giving, right? So we've got this match funding that's gift aided. If you apply gift aid to it as well, then the campaign is getting a lot more money, which makes this 25,000 target feel a lot more achievable. That actually, we're not asking for £25,000 to be donated from the people in the room today, which would feel unachievable. To give you a feel of the scale of it, we would need all of our church members, so everybody who's a member of St Andrew's Church, to give a gift-aided donation of £83, to give you a feel of where we are and what we need to do. Now, that's still a big ask. Not everybody's able to do that. So if you are able to give more and you feel compelled to do so, please do. That's definitely beneficial to the campaign. And if you can't, there are other things that we would love you to do to help if you don't feel able to give that much money. One of the big ones is this leaflet. So we've produced this leaflet, and we're going to distribute it around the whole parish. We'd love every household in the parish to receive a copy of this and think about this building that sits within their parish, and that is used for a lot of a great community use as well. We have concerts in here, we have school children coming in, we have support groups. We see it as a community building, and in a sense, the importance of the building is much in that community outreach as it is in us meeting as a church. We could meet anywhere and worship God together, but the importance of this building is a great centre for the community. So we'd really like to get one of these to every household in the parish. There are bundles of them at the back of the church, so if you can spare half an hour, please do take one of those. They're labelled up with the roads and the houses that you would deliver them to. Do please take one of those bundles and push them through the letterboxes. But equally, if you think of anyone else who might support this appeal, pass on the leaflets to them. If you know business owners, if you know businesses that might be prepared to support this, local businesses who again might come together in community spirit, then that would be hugely beneficial. And the last thing to mention, this is in the early stages of planning, but we're going to have a party because everybody likes a party. Kenwood Hall Hotel has very, very kindly offered to host this for us, so let us use their space in their beautiful grounds in the summer. It's going to be an occasion when we celebrate the 25th anniversary of us being a joint Anglican and Methodist congregation in this building, which is this year. So we're celebrating 25 years of that. There'll be a service when we mark that as well. But we'll have a party to which the wider community is welcomed. We're going to make it a fun family day with as many people there as possible, and hopefully celebrate also the conclusion of this successful appeal. We see that as the sort of our deadline for having hit our full fundraising target, and also the point in time that we should really be starting the work actually over the summer to repair the spire. That's all I wanted to say to you now. If you have any questions, do please come and ask me, or the leaflet has John Cripp's contact details on, email address and phone number, if you wanted to speak to him about it. You may well have questions, you may well have concerns. Please be assured we've discussed all of them at great length, so we can bring you into that conversation. We're more than welcome to. We definitely want to do this together as a congregation and a community. Thank you very much for your time.